Welcome back to Wepner Farms Productions. Got a busy day ahead of us. A little bit of planting to do. Gonna get some small grains in the ground this week. Got about 60 acres of rye we're gonna get planted for combining, and then another about 25 acres of wheat to plant. So that'll be everything for combining, and then we'll still have some more to plant for forage in the spring for heifer feed. But for now, we're starting with this stuff for combining and moving on as we get ground covered with manure. This whole no-till deal creates a lot of grease zerks, but we're not even no-tilling today. We got work ground to plant into. Big Ricky's headed out with the disc. See you later. Have a good time. So, gonna get this thing greased up, gotta vacuum it out, and we gotta calibrate it for rye. Ooh, next on the list, we got the vacuum. Uh-oh, I messed up. We got it. We got it. We lost it. We lost it. Too much stuff in this thing. Too much stuff. All right, we gotta vacuum this thing out. We got sorghum, I do believe, in there. Looks manageable. I think I vacuumed out more in my life. We've got one side cleaned out. We gotta do the other side yet. I'm gonna need to dump out the vacuum and get her emptied out. There shouldn't be anything in the grass box, hopefully. Oh, there's alfalfa. Well, that'll be fine. We'll just make sure it's turned off. Right now it is all the way on. Cool. Anyways, we'll get her done. New game. Let's see how much we get in the bag and how much we spill. Oh, can you guys even see what's going on down here? So, it worked out pretty good. About a full load there, I'd say. See how the dumping procedure goes. That was smooth. All right, back to vacuuming. Alrighty, we got her all cleaned out. We're looking at our box up here. It says gearbox 2 at 75 is supposed to be 110 pounds of rye. We're gonna maybe try to go a little heavier, do like 115, 120. That's what we're striving for today. Honestly, don't know what germination is on that rye. Probably look. Anyways, I want like 115. So we're gonna go for gear number 2, and then we're going to go right around a little bit higher than 75. Go right in between whatever that is in between 75 and 80. We'll give that a whirl. Runner, do a quick calibration, see where we're at, and hopefully we're right on the money. All right, we ran 1/10 of an acre. So now we gotta weigh it. Seems like way too much. So 10.4 ounces divided by 16.65 times 24 times 10. So we're at 157 right now. There's 16 ounces in a pound, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense.
Close it up.
Okay, I think I got everything situated. I was gonna switch totes around, but those totes are so plumb full that probably not gonna fit the little bit that's left out of that tote in that one. We're not very far away from the farm, so I just kind of plan on coming back here to fill up. Not gonna be a big deal, but it is what it is. It would have been nice to fill up down by the field, but I didn't really pack a lunch today either, so maybe I'll be back in time for lunch. It's like 11 o'clock right now, so who knows. We'll see how the day goes. We are now headed to what we call on top of the hill. So we have on top of the hill, and then we have down below. So this is our new hay field, and this is gonna be going into wheat. Ricky's got this all worked up once, and I think he's gonna have to work it again before we plant it. It's still pretty wet yet. You can see where the manure was. We didn't do this corner here, so you can tell that it's a lot wetter out there. It's gonna be too wet to plant right now. Maybe this afternoon it'll be ready. It's probably gonna be tomorrow because I'm doing rye right now. So I'll have to clean this thing out, recalibrate it for wheat. So might as well get as much rye done as possible before we switch to wheat. Otherwise it's a lot more switching back and forth. So we're headed down. Really pretty scenery back here. I get told by a lot of people that have visited and stuff that it's just so beautiful back here. So I'm just taking you guys along for the trip. Leaves are starting to turn a little bit. So we got a little bit of color turn there, and then actually all these trees back in the swamp, those have lost their leaves. They are currently dead. They're no longer living for this year. So there's the farm, and here's our lane that circles back and goes down, then lane branches off there and it goes down. Whatever. A lot of bugs flying around. It's unbelievably warm. I don't know how warm it is today, but I'm sure it's all of 80 degrees, probably. At least high 70s. There's not too much wind either, unfortunately. We got the bees. The bees are key to pollination. Not very many here right now. There was a lot more. We got a bee guy that runs his bees throughout property that we farm. Wherever it works good for him. Works out super good for us, because, I mean, without bees, you wouldn't have anything. Pretty much. I mean, they're the biggest pollinator. So, yeah, we got bees around. Pretty cool. We need to ensure we get all of the field. So we're going right up in the brush. This fence line. I hate fence lines so much, but you know, it's kind of crazy. There's like at least a 3-foot difference between this field and that field. And there's a fence line here that separates them. And, you know, I don't even know how you take the fence line out because it's such a drastic drop. There's also a bunch of rocks piled up in there, which is not helpful. But I had this all cleaned up pretty decent at some point. Now the trees are growing back. I think we need to knock the trees down, and then when we come in here with the sprayer, we'll make sure we spray it better and keep it down. You know, like right here, that is more presentable. I'm fine with grass growing there, but when you get the trees, I don't really care for that. Trees and brush, not very desirable. Same with over there, there's a bunch of trees. This kind of jogs through. But I don't think there's really any good way you'd connect the fields anyways. So I'm not really concerned about that. It's just the sheer fact that these giant water hemps, essentially, are growing. And I don't really care for it. But we'll get going a little faster here because I'm going way slower than I need to be. I can run her at about 5.5. There's a deer rub. Should put a deer stand up right here. Unbelievable. I'm gonna pitch a tent right there. You can sit on the ground. There's probably quite a few deer that run through here. Anyways, we're getting our AB line set up here, and then we'll be able to really hammer down, get some stuff done. Oh, look at this. Big old rock. Big old rock. Unbelievable. Beautiful. It's in the fence line now with all the other rocks. So question, anybody have any idea what this is? I've been told a couple things. So we got essentially 2 rock lines here. There is a barbed wire fence here, presumably property line. But we got a rock fence here and a rock fence there. I've been told, not by anybody I know from around here specifically, that they would have made 2 rock lines to run cows down here, potentially. Either that or the neighbors did not get along and did not want to put their rocks together. So, you know, anybody have any idea? They say that the cows won't walk across the rocks and then they'll just stay in the middle. Obviously there is rocks in the middle, but is that just because over time, you know, squirrels and stuff pick them up and move them? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Anyways, that's my question for the day. If anybody has any idea why there'd be 2 rock lines, seems very foolish to me. There's another rock here. Not that this one really matters, but really hate to be swinging out here with the head and scoop it up. I don't think the rock trap would be too happy with that one if it made it that far. Next on the list, how is our planter doing? I don't want any seeds above the ground. That would be bad. We got an alfalfa, look at that. How'd you make it through? Anyways, I think if we could be a 1/2 inch to 1 inch, be sufficient. There's one there. That's about half inch or so. Let's go. So this would be a tractor track here, actually. See where these are. Seed? There's a seed. Ooh, sorry, worm. Oh, there. Got chopped in half. Poor guy. That's a. Is that a seed? No. There's a seed. Yeah, that's around that half-inch range. I think we're gonna leave it where it's at. I think. Here's another tractor track. What do we got going on here? What is this? Is that a seed? There's some seeds. Yeah, I think we're looking pretty good. We actually have the no-till coulters down. This planter, I mean, I hate to admit it, but it is plumb worn out, if I'm gonna be honest with everyone here. Some of these opener discs, they don't even touch. Most of them do. I know some of them don't touch. That's probably not ideal. Right there, we got a few seeds chilling above the ground. Why are they above the ground there? Oh, I probably know why. It's like really wet here. Probably why. Way too wet right there. Too much compaction. Great. Anyways, yeah, pretty worn out. Probably have extra seeds there because I really slowed down here at the end to stop. We're running our coulters pretty deep, which coulters are worn out too. They're like half the size of what they're supposed to be. But it's fine. We're either gonna have to rebuild it this winter or we're going to need to buy a new one. I'm not sure what I want to go with. Honestly, don't mind really the size of it, but we gotta shut this radio down. Don't really mind the size of it, but a bigger one would be nicer. We do probably plant enough acres we could justify a bigger one, but this one definitely does its job. No doubt about that. So we'll make a few more passes here. I might tip it back just a little bit, but I think we're pretty close to where we want to be. We are making pretty good progress. We're probably about 3/4 done with the short rows. Looks really nice. This ground worked up super nice. You can kind of see it. I don't know if you can see it. You can see these lines across the field. That's where we drug the hose across, putting manure in, so you can kind of see there's that very light spot actually over there that probably didn't get any manure. That's where the hose was laying. And then through it here, you can kind of just see the lines of where it went. So kind of neat how you can see the manure. The ground's really just a little bit wetter is probably what's making the lines, but kind of cool that you can see it. So we're gonna keep cranking along here. I think I should be close to out of seed. I want to say when we get done with these short rows, we might be able to do a little bit more, but it's gonna be pretty darn close. We were plumb full. There's probably close to 2,000 pounds. So maybe not quite, maybe more like 1,500, because I don't think you can fit a whole tote in there. So there's probably enough for about 10 to 15 acres in here, between there. I know that's actually probably a pretty big number when it comes down to it, like a big number difference, but that's my guesstimate. Seed tender's here. I don't know if it has a full tote or not on it. You might just be bringing it down to empty it out, because we had that little bit left in the tote when we finished. So I guess I was planning on going back and finishing up that headland there. This is my first long pass. I think I'll just turn right around, go back there, probably fill up, and then make my way back. And then I was gonna make a loop out of it, because we're gonna have a small wedge along that tree. And then I left myself a pass for when I finish those headlands that I was gonna go down. But we'll turn around, get reloaded, and see what Grandpa's plan is. We got her freshened up a little bit. Really didn't put that much in. Would have probably been the equivalent of like 3 bags, or maybe like, I don't even know if we put 150 pounds in there. Wasn't much. we really had nowhere to empty that tote. We could have switched the totes and emptied it into a different tote later, but I guess it's empty and Grandpa needed something to do, so he brought her down. We got her filled up a little bit, be able to go another extra acre, whole extra acre on here now. So we're getting lined back up now, ready to go again. Second long pass. When we get to that other end, we're gonna clean up that headland and those short rows on that far end. So get this thing dialed back into not that fast. Running this tractor at about half throttle or so, about 5.4 miles an hour. So I like to do. Could go faster. I know Grandpa likes to plant faster, but I like to not be bouncing around. There we are. Beautiful. Time for a check-in. How you doing back here, buddy? Oh, let's see here. Cross your fingers. Shouldn't be empty. We got quite a bit in here yet. Isn't that crazy? Well, I mean, part of that is probably because when we loaded it, we probably put more on one end. But even this side, the difference, just how not even it is. It's really not a good thing. Anyways, we got a few more passes here, and then I don't see any seed coming. I don't know what everybody's doing, so we're gonna either have to call for some more seed, or we're gonna have to just go back and fill up, which it's like a 10-minute drive back. Not a big deal. We gotta do that. We'll see. But I'd say we probably make her. Got one more pass on this land. Go back. Yeah, maybe make a couple more passes. We got a little bit left here. And off we go with another load. It's going pretty good so far. Grandpa's not sure what Grandpa's doing. He's doing things. I messed up. I messed up big time. This does not look healthy. Oh my gosh. Didn't realize that this was a big pile of dirt here. Didn't even hardly back into it either, but did a number on that. That's wonderful. That was dumb. Oh, what do you even have to do to fix this? One bolt, new wheels. How's that? So why is that even bent? Well, I guess we're gonna be making a phone call. I don't think it's gonna be much good to plant without them. I don't know. Maybe it'd be okay, but I don't think it's really the best way you want to do it because they're kind of, you know, the closing wheels. Let's see what she looks like. I mean, that's what's going to put the seed to soil contact onto the ground. Not what I wanted to happen. We were making good progress too, and I just screwed it all up. Oh, brother. On to fixing my mistakes. Doesn't sound like we're gonna have parts till maybe Friday. So I'm taking this apart right now. I gotta pull these out. Put them in my bucket. This comes out. Then this should just come out of there, I think. Yeah, just like that. There is a bushing in here we don't want to lose. So we're gonna want to keep that. And hopefully those will come out. I think these are inserted as well. Yeah. So we're gonna take them off, and then I'm gonna plan on dragging a chain behind it for now because parts won't be here Friday or Monday. It is Wednesday. So we'll put this back together. But I'm gonna take all these off so that they're at least off, and then we'll go from there. Oh boy. So we've took them all off now. We repositioned those back in place. Now we're going to make a temporary fix, hopefully, maybe. Along with all these wheels, I tore all them apart now too. So these are the tools we'll need. We'll keep them in there for now, along with these bolts so they don't get lost. Alright, I got a plan. We're going to go old school with it. Now that I put all these back on, I'm going to take them back off because I'm worried the chain might get caught up in them. But where those are mounted, we could stick a bolt through. And we're going to take this really heavy chain and we're going to bolt it right on there. And then it's going to drag, hopefully covering the seeds up, ideally. So I needed to grab a pliers. I'm just going to take them right off from the top. I think it's the best idea. That way this stuff isn't dangling down. I do have to take this off, and I got to find 2 bolts to mount this on. And hopefully this don't catch up on anything and wreck something else, because then we'd be in a real predicament. So that's where we're at right now. We'll see what our fixing skills become. Cool, got them off. I have this thing all tore to pieces pretty quick here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and we lost one of these. We gotta find that quick. Alright, here's our temporary fix. We ran a bolt through, jam nutted it on that end. It's just gonna drag, hopefully, so I guess the only thing left to do is take it down there and see what it does. Just gotta get dirt over the seeds, I think, and then hopefully Calipacker will do the rest of the work. Oh, you know, it kind of bugs me that happened, because I don't know, in my mind when I was backing up there, I was seeing tall grass, but the second that I saw what happened, I knew why it happened, because in the back of my mind I knew that there was kind of that pile of dirt there. I don't even know why it's there, I'm gonna be honest with you, because it's really inconvenient. But I just wasn't thinking that, because you know, with backing up, trying to get as close as I could to the field edge, which, I don't know, it was silly. It was silly, and now, you know that those are like $92 a piece, that piece of cast? So, literally, probably said and done, that's like a $700 screw, plus downtime. It's not ideal, and it sucks. But, I mean, stuff happens. I'm glad that I was the one that did it, because I can only imagine how the other people are thinking. Like, why'd you back into that? That was stupid. But, whatever. Stuff happens, mistake happens. Now, we get to spend more money. So what are you gonna do? Hopefully this works, otherwise I don't know. I don't know what backup plan number BC is. We'll find out. See you guys if anything else interesting happens. Alright, moment of truth. Let's set her on the ground. See what these chains are gonna do. Already looks like our two end ones are not really gonna get the coverage we're desiring. Let's see what happens here. We'll go a few feet. We'll go past what we already planted. We're replanting at the moment. And we're gonna see what's up here. Definitely looks different. Okay. We've gone a few feet. Just see what's going on back there. All right, we're dragging dirt. That's positive. Can't see any seeds. That's a positive. Where are the seeds? Seeds, where are you? Hello? Are we planting? There's a seed. That's underground. This'll be okay. Boy, we seem deep here. Deeper than we were before. Hello, more seeds? Any? We're at the bottom of the trench. Didn't find any seeds. Are we planting? There's a seed. Yeah, we're maybe probably at about 3/4 of an inch here, I'd say. Even these end ones, I mean, you don't have that pressing, but I think we're gonna be all right. It's definitely covering it up. I mean, for the time being, to get us rolling, I think we're gonna roll with it. It's better than nothing. I mean, we don't have this nice pressed in look, but you know, it's better than nothing. So he's dragging most of them. So it's gonna be what it's gonna be. We are gonna color pack it too, so that'll, not that the color packer really does a whole lot, but I'm sure it does a little bit of packing. And rye, it takes really easy, so it's not gonna take much to get it to grow. You could throw that on the ground and it'll grow. So I think we're gonna keep rolling with it. Devin's got her stuck. I think he's gonna need some assistance. We'll go over there and give him a hand. We're making good progress on our planting. Got probably not quite a quarter of this field done, but we're getting somewhere. Too many logs, not enough tread. Yeah. Do you get that switch to 4-wheel drive? No. You know how? Yeah, I was on there. Yeah, it should be. If it worked. She's more go, man. That is a load of logs. We're gonna need to do some retillidation over here. I'm not thoroughly impressed with where this was parked. I don't know why it was put here. I know that I probably don't hardly have enough seed in that box to finish what I want to do. It's just a little bit frustrating. Look at what we got going on back here. Mess. We're combining our sunflowers tonight, so we had to get the corn head out. Oh, what a mess. I don't think there's very much left in this tote, because I think that the planter fits pretty close to the full tote, so I don't think I'll be fully loaded after this. We, in fact, did not get her done. So we're gonna need some more seeds, a lot more seeds, like millions more seeds to finish that up. So we're gonna have to hook up that tender, put a new box on, and we actually need this, I'm gonna say about half full. Probably do it. There's not a ton left, but there's some more to do down there. So time to get some equipment and figure it out. I don't know where anything is. Holy man, I'm gonna show you this. We got our sunflowers harvested, and it looks like we got a lot of them. So we'll just park this here for now. It'll be out of the way enough, and work on getting everything else situated here in a minute. Run her till the wheels fall off. At least that should be the motto with this. Look at that load. Oh, those smell pretty good. A little bit of cleaning needs to be done here, but that's sunflowers, oil seed sunflowers. You can actually kind of almost feel the oil on them. That's how they're either that or they're wet. I don't know. I don't know anything about them. Feels cool in there. Just about heaped her over. That is the most sunflowers we have ever harvested. Nearly needed the semi for that. That's got to be all of 100, probably 200 bushels right there. That grain hauling machine. What do you even call that? A gravity box? Boy, I'm jogging here. I can't even talk right now. I'm so mesmerized by that. It's 185 bushel gravity box is what I was trying to say. And it's heaped full, that's for sure. That's not something you see every day. Do a little clean out. Got some soybeans in there. Soybeans mixed with sunflower seeds. Quite the concoction. Oh boy. Yeah, we do. This is probably weird. There's a guy that's got chickens and ducks, and he buys totes of seed from us. So it works out really good, because then we can get the sunflowers cleaned out of the combine before we start beans. It's not a bad deal, not a bad gig. So I mean, that works out pretty nice. Anyways, I'm gonna keep planting for a while, see how it goes. There's a bit left of that field, but not a ton left. I only filled up about 3/4 full. I don't know if it's gonna be enough to finish the field, but I don't want to put too much in, so get a little closer to the end and kind of figure it out that way. It's about 7 o'clock right now, so I don't think I'll run too terribly late, maybe quit around, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I don't want to make another trip back here and go back down, so I guess we'll either run till the field's planted or the grain drill's empty. I guess it'll kind of be what makes or break my night. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.